Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the All-American ARCA Series season debut here at Daytona International Speedway. It is going to be 250 miles long around this 2.5-mile racetrack. Drivers will be doing 100 laps tonight. It's a season debut. It's a pretty new series. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. This series started off only about a month ago. Already has 59 drivers, 8 teams, over 50 drivers registered in less than 1 month. It's guaranteed to be a good show. Drivers here range from age 17 to 67. It's got a pretty good crowd, mixed iRating all across the board. Overall, pretty standard stuff. So it's going to be one fast repair for Daytona and Talladega International Speedway. It's the only races that are going to be doing fast repairs. It is a fixed setup series with 3 sets of tires available to our racers, 85% fuel available, and 1 green-white checker attempt. It's going to be a good one. A lot of new racers trying to figure out how hard they can push with their opponents, seeing who they can work with, who they're going to have to give a little bit more space to. But I am very excited. I hope you are as well. I'm James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Very glad to be here supporting the series. It's going to be a really good event. Let's get ready for single car qualifying. We're going to take you on board with Robert Mathis Jr. He's going to be one of the first cars out here. You can see these guys trying to drive the high line all the way around the super speedway, and then on their flying lap, they'll drop down low, get as close or under the double yellow as they possibly can, and try to pick off a qualifying time. Now, in open practice, it was Andrew Neri on top of the board. That, though, was with a draft, so these guys are out here, no draft partners to work with, so they're going to have to be using every little bit of track they can, get a little bit of speed. We're expecting maybe a tenth that's going to separate the field. Speaking of field, massive field tonight. I believe it's 39 drivers, 38 drivers, somewhere thereabouts. So these guys do have a 43-car limit. So I think everyone's going to get in tonight. Now going into the future might be very different as you see this league really starting to take root, get massive amounts of attention out here. So again, the league's only been open for about a month. This is their series debut. The fact that they've got almost a full field is absolutely wild. There are individual prizes for race winners. I believe it's going to be Kyle Hall is going to be ponying up a t-shirt with the All-American logo on it for race winners in an extra large. If you don't wear an extra large, you're going to have to either dry it or maybe gain a couple pounds. Either way, that is the size you are getting. Very light entry field. If you're still on the fence, you're watching from home, watching when it's one of our subscribers, and you're thinking, hey, I want to get in on this, you go to the All-American ARCA Series Facebook page. It'll be linked several times throughout the broadcast. You can get in on the action. Speaking of that, Casey Carrington, league owner, puts it on top of provisional pole with a 49.50. So that's going to be about 400s faster than Stephen Thompson, who's currently sitting in second. Andrew Neri sitting in third. Dennis Weeks in fourth. Troy Daniels in fifth. We see Robert Matthews Jr. He clicks off a good flying lap. It's going to put him up to eighth. Man, such a big field here tonight. Anybody's guess what's going to happen. As a broadcaster and fellow racer, we're hoping for some good green flag runs. Nobody wants to see a caution fest. That being said, this is a brand new league. None of these racers have been able to really feel each other out too much. Some of the guys have experience. A lot of them ran prior in a different ARCA series before this one was built. So some of the guys are kind of used to banging doors against each other and know how hard they can push. But a lot of new names in this series. Fresh start for a lot of racers. A lot of teams out there vying for that team championship, so it's going to be a good time. If our drivers are listening along at home, they've got wives, girlfriends, family, whoever it might be. As a reminder, the All-American Discord is open, and there is a waiting room. If you want to get in on the broadcast, maybe under caution, you got some words to say. Keep it PG, of course, but you can get up here in the booth. Let us know what's going on mid-race. We're looking forward to everybody's feedback. As qualifying still clicks off, though, it's going to be Casey Carrington stays on top of the board with a 49.49. Can anyone edge him out? There's about 4 or 5 racers, I believe, that have not put down times yet. We're going to make it 2 racers. Qualifying has finished. Let's take it to the grid. Starting on pole, Casey Carrington, and second, Josh Thompson. Stephen Thompson will start third, Andrew Neri in fourth, Dennis Weeks in fifth, Troy Daniels sixth, John Simpson seventh. You've got Zachary Nurberger in eighth, Robert Hill Jr. will be starting ninth tonight, Patrick Hernandez in 10th, Craig Martin will start in 11th. We've got Johnny Eckert starting 12th. Michael Vandermeed will be running 13th, Alec Burton in 14th, Mark Proctor 15th, Robert Mathis Jr. in 16th, James Silver 17th, Matt Johnson 18th, Kyle Hall will be running 19th so far, Gus Moody in 20th. You got Zach Rogers starting 21st, Eric Stout 22nd, Devin Scroggins will be in 23rd, Spencer Dewsbury 24th. We got Josh Mayu starting 25th, David Westergreen 26th, Tyler Evans 27th, Justin Ray 28th, Carolus Thiel in 29th, Alex Penn 30th, Curtis Martin in 31st, Jake Finch in 32nd, Brandon Barksky in 33rd, Bruce Pearson 34th, Ryan Perkins 35th, and then Nick Terrell will be starting 36th to round out our field. No, I take that back. We've got one more page. It just keeps going. Finally, got Shane Gentry, 37th, and Greg Snellbecker in 38th. I believe neither one of those drivers put down qualifying times. They might have a good plan here to kind of hang around the back, watch possible carnage unfold, and then see how it goes from there. But these drivers are going to take the field under formation. A massive field, 38 drivers. Nobody really knows each other. I'm excited. I hope you are at home. It is going to be a good one. 100 laps around Daytona International Speedway. What we hope to see is cars taking it smart, playing it safe. To finish first, you must first finish, is the age-old saying. So hopefully we're not going to see a lot of four wide right off the start, but it is ARCA, and everyone's heard of ARCA brakes, so never discount drivers to do something spectacular, whether they mean to or not. We're going to back that camera angle out as the iRacing pace car makes its way. An absolute monster field. And that's one good thing about the league racing here on iRacing. You can't find this on a regular night at iRacing. The public lobbies just don't deliver. We got live racing control tonight, making the calls. If anybody misbehaves, they're going to be taking care of it. Pace car is in. All eyes are going to be on Casey Carrington. Carrington hammers down. He's got Joshua Thompson on the outside. Two drivers deciding to start from his. That's going to be Shane Gentry. Patrick Hernandez might have missed the start. We're going to see a lot of 2x2 action as far back as the eye can see. That's Casey Carrington out front, Josh Thompson, Stephen Thompson, and then Andrew Neri is going to sit in third. We got one car got pushed down on the inside on the apron. He might have been leaving pit lane, so that could be something else going on. Or that might be Dennis Weeks, I believe, falling way, way back on the inside of the racetrack. Nobody's going to make room for him to join. Just a spectacular formation here on Daytona International Speedway. It's still Casey Carrington out front, Josh Thompson followed by Stephen Thompson. Andrew Neri, he's on that outside line, the 654 fan favorite. Love to see him out there. He was one of the faster cars in practice, so we know he has the pace. Didn't get the qualifying time that he really wanted to, but that outside run might start developing. It's a very tricky situation when you're racing around guys you don't really know that well, how hard you can push, how close you can get. Everybody's going to be feeling themselves out, seeing what they can make happen. Somebody else gets pushed down the low line. Driver's going to try and get back into the field, but man, look how absolutely massive that field is. You don't see that anywhere else on iRacing. Leagues are probably the best way to get the best racing you can. For a modest fee, I believe it's $10 to join the All-American ARCA Series. You get this. You get 40 drivers managing to hold their line. You get broadcast. You get race control. You get it all. They're extremely impressed with the quality of these drivers so far. Casey Carrington still out front. Josh Thompson trying to get that high line working. He's got Andrew Neri trying to push him up there, but Neri not quite on that bumper yet. That low line does have a lot more people to make it happen. We're going to take it on board with Andrew Neri here, see what he sees. The patented All-American ARCA Series roof camera gives you an idea of just how exciting it is going 2x2 around. Another camera angle of Neri shows him trying to push the 51. That's going to be Josh Thompson in front of him. Thompson started second, remains in second. These top four have pretty much been in the same spot. Neri's pushing a little bit high. Not sure if he's comfortable, maybe not as comfortable with the side draft as some of his other competitors are. But they are starting to get that outside line working. Now the question is, Josh Thompson, who currently shows in the lead, is he going to be able to get clear of Carrington? He is not, going into 3 and 4. God, the amount of cars running 2x2 absolutely as far as the eye can see. That's 20 rows for the most part of guys going 2x2. Nobody's willing to yield position quite yet. All eyes, though, on Neri and Thompson. Thompson's just edging out Carrington as they cross the line. Excuse me, go into the corner. They're 3 wide in the back. Things are starting to get a little bit unsettled back there. Drivers are getting trying to make moves happen. There they go. That's the 0-0 goes around. That's Craig Martin. The big one comes out early at Daytona. ARCA breaks in full effect. Some guys not lifting. A lot of the field still crashing. Oh, that was a massive, massive wreck here at Daytona. Started with a spun, and then it went from bad to worse. We're going to see if we can get the instant replay on that one. So let's watch Craig Martin here. See if we can find the camera angle on Craig. Craig may... Man, so many cars involved in that one. Craig using his one fast repair early, I think, getting back out there. Let's get him back this camera up just a little bit. So who is that with him? I believe that's the 25 gets into Mr. Craig. We're going to back the... Actually, let's get a nice tight angle. This is going to be the slow motion replay so far of the race. So watch the number 25. He's going to try and take it 3 wide down the middle. Driver's already trying to crash behind them. Craig, I'm not sure if he went wide or if he got hooked there. But then it just goes from bad to worse for everyone involved. 25 goes around. That's Brandon Barkuski, excuse me. And the field just scatters. Guys going 3-4 wide, down on the apron, trying to avoid it. See Ryan Perkins, the number 8 machine. Looks like he slips through pretty clean. Let's see if we can get another angle, because that was just absolutely spectacular. So we're gonna watch Ryan Perkins' footage here, see if he gets a good shot. You see cars going everywhere. Perkins navigates the field. They're still wrecking all over the place in front of him. Perkins manages to sneak through clean, so well done to Mr. Perkins. Boy, what a start here at Daytona International Speedway. So that is going to be our first yellow of the night. And just absolute calamity. So right now we've still got, looks like Troy Daniels is going to be our current race leader. John Thompson, I believe Casey Carrington did come into pit, lap 6. He takes a little bit of fuel, I believe, with only a 5-second pit stop. A lot of drivers coming in on that one. Andrew Neri decides to stay out in the 654 machine. He's currently up to second, up 2 spots from where he originally qualified. So about 6 laps is the magic number before people get a little out of control here. As always, thank you to our viewers for tuning in on the Team Goon Squad broadcasting channel. Always pushing it out in 1080p. We're very glad to have you. Glad to put on some exciting race action for everybody across the world. We do kindly appreciate you. As always, if you have somebody you're rooting for, give us a shout out on the YouTube comments. We're always looking for it. We try and get it read back as quickly as we can. And major thanks to all the racers, racer families that tune in. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So much obliged. You guys are keeping this thing going. As we get ready to stack the field up once more. So on this restart, that is going to be Josh Thompson. He's going to be starting first, the number 51 machine. To his right is Andrew Neri, the 654. Neri, fastest guy in practice, but not in qualifying. We know he has the pace. He has the comfort running in a draft. Let's get ready for this iRacing pace car to come in, and then we're going to do it all over again here at Daytona International. Looks like pretty much your top 12 drivers did stay out. They did not come in for a pit. Starting after 12th, you see a mix. Most guys came in around lap 6 to 7 there, it looks like. So let's get ready as the green flag is going to come in. And once the pace car drops into pit lane, it's anybody's guess. How far can they go without cautions? So far, that front 10 pack did a fantastic job of keeping it clean. There's a little bit of 3-wide action early on, and it went terribly with this large field. Green flag is out. Thompson gets a huge launch. He's accompanied by Stephen Thompson as well in the 95 machine. Neri on that outside line. Looks like the 63 Troy Daniels not quite pushing him very aggressively quite yet, and that's okay. Neri's going to try and get the side draft of Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson, Josh Thompson, no relation, just same last name, slightly different spelling. A lot of teams out here tonight as well. I believe there's 8 different teams formed up, all trying to get that team championship by the end here. But right now, everyone's vying for that top spot. They want the points going on early in the season. They want that All-American ARCA Series t-shirt. It's going to be a good one. Neri's still on the outside. Can't quite get through the Thompsons. Neri looks like he's trying to get that side draft working, but doesn't want to get too close in case the number 51, that's Josh Thompson or Stephen Thompson, the 95, gets a little loose and gives him a door tap. Absolute worst thing you want right now is to use that fast repair. All these drivers have one fast repair for this super speedway as well as Talladega. But in a 250-mile race, last thing you want to do is, oh no, there goes the 63 up on his, he's on his roof. That's going to be the 63, Troy Daniels. Let's see if we can get eyes on Troy here and see what on earth just happened to him. So it's looking like the 95 tries to go a little bit high there. Now it looks like Troy dropped down the track, might have got a little bit of netcode involved, pushes him high from what it looks like, and then Troy goes for a heck of a ride. Not the fastest way around the racetrack here at Daytona. It does increase tire wear pretty bad when you're on your left side door like that. But great advertising for the Pink Panther sponsorship of the 63. Looks fantastic, numbers easy to read. I don't think Troy ever lifted during all of this. Now, the question is, does anybody else get involved in this incident? I don't think so, judging from what I'm seeing on live timing and scoring. And just like that, Troy's back on four wheels. Well done to Troy, riding it out for the most part. Kind of gets glued to the wall. But well done to the rest of the field for avoiding that accident. That could have been way, way worse. So it looked like it was only one car heavily damaged in it. Let's take it back. So we saw second. So right now it's still going to be Josh Thompson up front, Andrew Neri in second, Steven Thompson third, John Gimson fourth, Gus Moody in fifth. So the top of the field hasn't been shaken up that much. It's pretty much kind of where we started at here. Second caution, though, 12 laps in. It's going to be a long one for racers, broadcasters, race control alike. Thankfully, some of these drivers still have their fast repair in reserve, but again, you really don't want to use that early on in the event. You want to be able to keep a little pace and stay towards the end. That way, if something happens in the final closing section of the racetrack, you can get back out there and try and vie for some points, if not a win. You see Lucky Dog is in effect. He's going to go around. So fixed setups tonight. So everybody's on the exact same setup. They not a lot of tuning you can do here. You can adjust your steering ratio and you can adjust your brake bias just for fun. But if you're using the brakes here around Daytona International Speedway, besides going to the pits, that means someone somewhere is having a terrible, terrible night. You got Steven Thompson, the number 95 machine. He hails from Indiana, so he's doing a fantastic job keeping it good out here. You got John Simpson, Illinois. He's currently running fourth place, looking great with the 65 machine. There's a lot of quality racers in the ARCA series, and a lot of these guys here, you kind of run into the same guys all the time. They're such good racers. You get in the same splits with them all the time. It's really a pleasure to run with the same guys every week. So nice change of pace from your usual open lobby shenanigans where you can kind of get used to driving against the same competitors week in and week out. And man, with 30, I believe it's 30, let's see here, 38 cars in the field, that's a lot of people to get to know pretty quickly. All right, we're getting ready for the pace car to come in. All around, I'd say, honestly, less crashes than I kind of expected. Again, with a new league, a bunch of new racers trying to get used to each other. It's kind of a mixed bag of what you can get, a box of chocolates, if you will. But so far, so good. Pace car is in. All eyes on Josh Thompson in that 51 machine. He's going to get a good launch in that bottom lane. Andrew Neri still running the high side. He's going to show in second right now, but Steven Thompson's going to get around him. Andrew might be able to self-clear here and get low. No, he's going to stay with it with the 65 of John Simpson right behind him. For the most part, the field either happy running single file or 2x2. Neri doesn't get a lot of support on that outside line. It is just him and John Thompson trying to get past. Excuse me, he's supported by John Simpson, trying his best to get around Josh Thompson, but that outside line, they can carry a better run around the high side of the line, but it's tough when you've got such a big line of cars on that inside running nose to tail. They got a major draft. Looks like they're getting support from Ryan Perkins, the number 8. He's going to join the high line. See if he can get that train rolling, maybe give them a push to the front. I know lots of these drivers are in team channels together. Their crew chiefs and spotters are communicating, letting them know what's going around the racetrack. They also look at the broadcast, see what other guys are doing, see if that helps plan a little bit of strategy as these runs develop. But so far, really good, clean, tight racing. You see Neri trying to get the side draft. Don't think he's going to get around Josh Thompson in the lead. Stephen Thompson running second, doesn't want to yield any. And then here comes Gus Moody. He's up 15 positions so far in the 84 machine. Driver's getting a little bit unsettled, but for the most part, trying to stay in that single file, get a good run developed. Perkins kind of wiggles that back in. He might have gave a little bit of input around here. Gets unsettled. Oh, I see smoke in the back. Hopefully nothing bad's happening. They managed to hold on to it. Well done, boys. That outside line is forming up. It's got about 5 cars now, so people are willing to realize, hey, this thing can work if we just stick with it. They're running 2 by 2, 6 rows deep. Great racing from everybody involved. So you've got Josh Thompson still up front, Andrew Neri, John Simpson, Stephen Thompson, Ryan Perkins, Gus Moody, Matt Johnson, Devin Scroggins, Shane Gentry, Spencer Dewsbury all in the top 10, all within 0.3 of a second. The entire top 10 of the field is within 0.3. So, I mean, it doesn't get much tighter than that, ladies and gentlemen. And we're only 17 laps into this bad boy. Plenty of racing left. Guys, got to remember, they got to be patient. You want to make it to the end as much as you want to lead a couple laps. Being there at the end is the most important part. That outside line getting more and more steam. Andrew Neri is going to drop down low. He's going to throw the block on Josh Thompson. And he is our new race leader. That's Andrew Neri, our current race leader. Andrew Neri, actually a road racer, primarily does endurance racing, just kind of getting into the oval scene here, but trying to get it figured out. So far doing pretty good. He's going to lead a lap around here at Daytona. Not sure if there's going to be bonus points involved or not, but he wants the bragging rights at the very least. Man, such good racing. Now the outside line still gaining speed. You see the 65, that's John Simpson. He's getting a good run. He's supported by Ryan Perkins, the number 8. The boys are getting a little bit unsettled behind him. It looks like they're going to go 3 wide. Neri gets kind of bumped. Not sure if he caused that or not, but the 51 machine gets into the side of him. That's Josh Thompson. I don't know whose fault that really was. They try and make it 3 wide. Not sure if there's room there that didn't exist yet. Neri goes back low, throws a block, but John Simpson's going to have the lead for a second. Neri gets back by on the inside. They're racing extremely hard for only being 19 laps in so far. Looks like they're going to go 3 wide again down the backstretch. Neri in the middle all by himself. No way he's going to commit. Oh, what's going to happen? Looks like Josh Thompson's going to squeeze in the lead. Neri grabs the high line. His teammate Ryan Perkins lets him in. Good, smart racing. That could have went way worse if they decided to press the issue this early on. Seeing a little bit of smoke from somebody. Not sure if a tire might be letting loose. What might be happening? Josh Thompson, currently our race leader in the number 65 machine. He's up 6 spots so far. Hard charger of the race so far has got to be Ryan Perkins and Shane Gentry. Both of these guys are up 29 spots respectively. So from starting at the very back of the field here, Neri gets spun! What on earth? Another huge calamity. There's cars, parts everywhere. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not good. Their team owner can't be happy. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. So Andrew Neri, not sure what the call is there. I'm not sure if he came down low or maybe he got a little bit of help. Let's see if we can figure it out here. So watch the number 654 machine at the top left of your screen. That's a tough one to call. I wouldn't want to be race control. It looks to me like Neri came down. But that's a very hard one to call. The number 8, he barely gets by. Number 44, I believe, comes back up the track, flips over the number 8 in spectacular fashion. I can't count how many cars there are involved in that. I'm just a simple broadcaster, but I'm pretty sure it was more than 5. That's one of the worst spots you can be for a crash. Neri just goes for the ride of his life. Number 8, Perkins, should be selling ad space on the bottom of his car as he slides down the racetrack. Well done to the top of the back of the field. You see at the top of your screen. They're doing everything they can to avoid this, but it's hard when the racers are going all the way out to the apron, all the way up to the wall. It is the biggest roadblock you could probably see here around the super speedway. Some guys happy just to get on the brakes and avoid everything they can. Oh, that's a rough one. I see Andrew Neri involved, Ryan Perkins, Eric Stout, Zach Rogers, James Silver, Zachary Nunnerberger, Jake Finch, Gus Moody, Michael Vandermeed, all involved in that one, showing us crashing. David Westergreen also involved. Man, that is a spectacular crash. So not what you want to see. Lap 22, these drivers are using more fast repairs than they really wanted to. So it's going to be Josh Thompson still out front. He's been here all night. Now Steven Thompson's going to move up to second. Devin Scroggins will be in third. Carol Steele will be fourth. Alex Penn will be starting fifth. Casey Carrington starting sixth for the restart. Brandon Barkuski will be in seventh. Alec Burton eighth. Justin Ray ninth. And then Patrick Hernandez will round out our top 10 around the restart. Third caution, 22 laps in. I'm not good at averages, but I think that's about... I'll call it about 8 laps, 7 laps per caution. So yeah, still not quite sure what caused that one. I think Neri came down, but I don't know for sure. A lot of guys coming in for fuel and tires that time. About a quarter of the way into the race. Not quite sure what the pit windows are of the drivers here, but... All right, we've got Ryan Perkins in the waiting room, the number 8. Perkins, are you all right after sliding down the racetrack on your roof for so long?
Yeah, I'm all right. I knew that was coming. The 84 wasn't holding his line the whole night. He kept coming up on me several times before that happened. So.
All right, Perkins, you went in, you got a new car. That's probably your one remaining car for the night. Anything you can do differently before this green flag kicks off?
Try to stay clean, get a couple laps back, get back on the lead lap. We got a long time. I don't know. Just try to keep it clean. I was doing good. Moved from 35th to the top 5, and just for that to happen, it's kind of a disappointment.
Well, it's still early on in the race. We're going to let you get back out there as the pace car's ready to come in, but we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
That's Ryan Perkins, the number 8. You saw him sliding on his roof pretty much down the entire back straight. Again, he really is looking to selling advertisement maybe at the bottom there. That way when he's upside down, you can see a big old Nike logo, maybe the All-American logo, something to that effect. Try and get him a little bit of sponsorship money will help repair those expensive race cars. So Perkins is going to show a couple laps down now, I do believe. Yeah, showing 2 laps down as we get ready to go green once more. Still lots of racing to go. We're going to restart with 24 laps to go, so about a quarter of the way through. We've had 3 cautions, so drivers got to remember, it's a long, long race. If you're using your fast repairs already, it's going to be looking worse and worse for the last 20 laps where things are really going to get exciting. We're green again. It's going to be Thompson out front. Josh Thompson, excuse me, followed by Steven Thompson. I've got to differentiate here with two different Thompson gentlemen out there. 51 of Josh Thompson. He's been leading pretty much all night. Mr. Steven Thompson running the high line at 95 machine. Doesn't have a lot of support yet. Not a lot of guys are able to pull up to him. Behind Steven, you got somebody playing pretty spectacularly. I'm not quite sure who that is. But that's going to be Matt Johnson, the 61 machine, having a little bit of problems there. Oh, hold that line, gentlemen. It's too early to be going 3 wide. You see the number 30 machine. He's getting a good hard drive. That's Alex Penn. He's up 28 spots so far. A little bit of shuffle, a little bit of sliding there. That's the 95 of Steven Thompson getting a little bit loose, I think. He's falling around Alex Penn, excuse me. None of these drivers can really see their marks super well when they're going into these high bank turns. I think it's 30 degrees here at Daytona International Speedway, the degrees of the banking. It makes it hard to realize where you're at in the corner before you're already into it. The inside line has a bit of advantage. They can kind of use their peripheral vision, look out to the left, see where the double yellow is, and turn in where they think is the right time. But you're pretty much driving through the rear window of the guy in front of you. A little bit of aggressive bump drafting going on. It's the 61 getting loose, Matt Johnson. But right now, Josh Thompson, our race leader in the 51 machine, he's driving clean. He's probably got the most laps led all night so far. And the field starts to shuffle around behind him. Nobody quite sure where they're going to go here. Are they going to go 3 wide into turn 3? It's sure looking like it. No, that's going to be Steven Thompson in 95. He's going to drop back down when he can and try and get 2 wide. He doesn't want to go 3 wide this early on in the race. He's playing it smart. He wants to be up front as the runs develop. Got Brandon Barkuski in the 25 machine. Looking spectacular, keeping it clean. Doing his best to make it up the racetrack. Again, he's up 31 spots, so nothing to sneeze at. Devin Scoggins also up front in the 66 machine. David is up 21 spots for the live time. David coming out of kind of nowhere to getting up there. Man, look at Man, look how tight this racing is. They're going to go 3 wide once more down the backstretch. Nobody really wants to see that this early on. Devin, I believe, showing is the number 61 here. No, he's the 66, excuse me. Oh, there they go. I think we got Dave Westergreen involved in that one. Broadcasting superstar in his own right. So that's the 37, or the 87, excuse me. It's going to be Kyle Hall involved in that. Oh, that's not good. A lot of cars collected. I believe that's going to be, see a couple of the Team Goon Squad guys there. They're involved. That's after they've already used their fast repair. Let's see if we can get a nice tight angle here and see what's going on. To watch the 87. Looks like he kind of gets loose all on his own. Not quite sure what that was. You see the brake rotor's absolutely glowing as he gets on the brakes. That's Kyle Hall we're watching. Had a very rough start there. Not sure what happened to Kyle to get collected like that. That was a very odd crash to see. And then once again, it goes from bad to worse for all of our drivers here as calamity strikes here at Daytona International Speedway. So Devin Scoggins, our new race leader, followed by Josh Thompson, the 51. Man, that's a rough night for several drivers, especially the back of the field. Those are guys that might have already used their fast repair. Not a good night for a lot of guys. So, that is caution number 4 for lap 30. Slightly longer run that time, so maybe we're getting better. Maybe as cars start to get crashed out, we'll see less people out there causing mayhem. But a lot of drivers involved in that one. They're going to come in and try and get their machines fixed. It is a league race, though, so these guys got to remember, just because they might have a 10-minute repair, it is imperative to get back out there as quickly as you can, get those repairs done. Try and salvage some points. There are championships on the line. This is not just a one-and-done deal. This is a very long commitment for all of our racers. Looks like it's going to be 14 rounds for the All-American ARCA Series. So if you have one round, that's tough, but you got 13 more rounds to make it up. That's what's win championships, is consistency, not just a single good run. Man, so many good cars involved in that. You really, really hate to see that. I mean, we show, I believe, about 10 to 15 drivers in the pits right now getting repairs. We're going to re-rack them once more, though, around Daytona. The party hasn't stopped yet, ladies and gentlemen. Long way to go. We're only a third of the way through here. We're going to re-rack them once more. Let's see how many cars we have in the lead lap. Still have 21, about 25 drivers still on the lead lap. So all things considered, that's not bad. But that means there's about 15 to 13 drivers involved that are not on the lead lap at this point. We're going to wait for that iRacing pace car to come in, then we're going to do it once more. Really, to be honest, folks, we're going to do this several more times tonight. We're going to be keeping an eye on Scoggins up there. Devin Scoggins in the 66, up 21 spots. He's got Brandon Barkuski on his right in the 25 machine. He's up 31 spots so far. So patience is the name of the game as the pace car comes in. Green flag is out, and here we go. Devin Scoggins with an absolute massive launch there. Scoggins with a great launch, but here comes Brandon Barkuski on the outside. He's going to come around that 25 machine. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get clear, if he's going to try and get that high line working, but just like that, we see the low line give up for a second, peek about going high, and then think better of it. Justin Ray in the 38 machine, he's up 24 spots so far. He's gained a ton of time just keeping that machine clean and keeping it green. So good to see Ray still out there, still charging. His last pit stop was lap 6, so Ray's going for as much track position as he possibly can, which will very well pay off. If you can stay in the draft here, tire wear and tire heat, probably the biggest effector here, doesn't bother you quite as much. You can still stay in the draft and use the arrow of the guy in front of you to stay with the lead pack. Now, if you get outside that pack and start trying to get outside line working or get out front, you can find yourself rapidly slowing down. But so far, it seems like it's a good play for Justin Ray. Beautiful shot showing the back field here at Daytona. I don't want to jinx it yet, but looks like the field might have calmed down a little bit more going around. They don't want to ruin their good luck so far. I can tell you one thing, there's going to be a lot of cars hoping for a lucky dog, hoping for some more yellows to try and get back in the lead lap. I think with the way some of the blocking we're seeing now, could very well be a possibility. 38, Justin Ray still out front. He's going to drop low and pick up the bottom line. That's Brandon Barkuski behind him. On the top line, that's going to be Alex Penn, the number 30 machine, trying to get something working. Looks like that's been a 30. Alex Penn trying to get a little side draft going along, maybe slow up the guys in front of him so he can get back up there with his outside line. But 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see here at Daytona. Man, that is a stacked field. Lap traffic in front of them, not quite sure who that is going to be. Number 38, somebody might have blown a motor there as another big one comes out. Huge crash. I'm not sure what happened to 38 there. Justin Ray shows like maybe he's blowing up or maybe he dodged. I'm not really sure what happened. Let's back it up a little bit further than that. Oh, that won't do me any good. So we're going to watch the 38 Justin Ray, see if we can decipher what happens here. We're watching the All-American ARCA Series Chopper Cam. So look at the 38. He's way up there. And I'm not sure if he dodges or what. No, I believe that was the 31 gives a big push. Pushes the 38 offline, and then he goes wide to try and avoid it. So that's what that smoke is locking up as the field tries to figure out where to go. But that's a 66, stays in line. Oh man, so cars start checking up for the most part. And then, I don't know if they're not communicating or what. 66, he's on me roof. He goes flying through the air. Oh man. Number 8, Perkins, he's involved again in another incident. Not a good night for a lot of drivers out here. So Brandon Barkusi is going to be our new race leader in the 25 machine, followed by Alex Penn, Matt Johnson, Josh Thompson, Curtis Martin's going to bring up our top 5. Oh, if I could only hear the driver radio right now. I'm sure it is absolutely spectacular. So all that started with a maybe a little bit of an over-aggressive bump draft for the lead pack. Sends one car to the inside, and everybody starts checking up. And next thing you know, ARCA breaks. Calamity at Daytona. Now, if these cars are a lap down, we see some of the fans saying, hey, I'm glad to see I believe that was Eric Stout getting a shout out from Rob Haynes that he's getting back on the lead lap. Stout is, the name of the game has got to be, if you're a lap down, you're in lucky dog contention, just stay away from the carnage. The caution will come. That is almost a given here. But this has quickly turned into a case of last car standing. So let's see, I believe Robert Hill Jr. involved in that, Zachary Nurnberger, Steven Thompson, Robert Hill Jr., Nick Terrell, Tyler Evans, James Silvers, Devin Scroggins, Johnny Eckert, Dennis Weeks Jr., Mark Proctor, all showing as crashed on that one. So lost a lot of good racers. Man, you just hate to see that. Such talented guys get involved. I'm not going to say needlessly because things happen, but yeah, we saw poor Ryan Perkins involved. He came back in after that first big incident where he slid down the entire back straight on his roof, gets his car drivable, goes back out. Next thing you know, he's in it again. Andrew Neri, who was out front early on the 654 machine, he's still in the pits over 11 minutes later, so he's trying to get those repairs done as quick as he can, try and get out there, salvage some points. But man, a lot of bad luck for several drivers. So that's fifth caution, 40 laps. Our 7 to 8 lap green flag average continues to run strong. If anything, the field is nothing but consistent, so you got to give them credit for that. Part of this, I think, can be blamed for a field of brand new drivers with each other, trying to figure out what they can get away with. And then as these league races and seasons develop, you quickly can earn a reputation for yourself for causing mayhem. And then you'll see cars starting to avoid you. So I think everybody's doing their best to stay clean. Hopefully we're hearing some sorries over DriverNet. A hand out the window as an apology for some of the incidents that have happened. Some of them just been racing incidents, and some of them, like the last one, might have been caused by too hard of a bump draft going into the corner. But we're going to watch Brandon Barkowski, Alex Pitt, Kurt Martin. They're going to be our top group at the restart. They're all up 28 to 32 laps each. As we get ready to go, pace car is in. We're going to watch Brandon Barkowski in the 25 machine. Barkowski again, currently sitting P1, up 32 spots. He's been having a great run tonight. But man, look at Alex Penn, the 30 machine. Gets a huge, huge drive around the outside. Barkowski actually on older tires. His last finish was lap 12. Alex Penn came in on lap 29, so Penn's definitely got the fresher tires out of the machines out there. See what this top of the field can do. See if they can keep it clean out here. Man, we all hope so. Not even to the halfway point. Minutes, he's gonna make it back out. That's one of those drivers you're gonna see trying to stay behind the field, wait for the caution to try and get some laps back. Now with iRacing, if you're involved in the incident, so Mary's gonna do his best to stay out of any damage he might see out there. Just try and survive at this point. But right now it's still Brandon Barkowski out front, Alex Penn in second. That's the 25 and 30 machine respectively. Both of these cars looking great. Drivers been running really clean all night, and so far being pretty well behaved. If you're looking for a different profile, streaming twitch.tv/Brandon Barkowski, you can check out his point of view. He'll be live on Twitch. So good to see our racers supporting the series everywhere they can, getting their own name out. I know his sponsors have got to be happy right now, as he's currently running way up there, up so many positions. Barkowski does show on the HMS team as well, so he's got some teammates out there. Fields kind of calmed down just a little bit. Everybody's seen a lot of good cars get parked that might do to damage. Yellow flag is out, not sure where. I see Carnage maybe at the back. Not entirely sure what happened there. Show Eric Stout is crashing. We'll try and get eyes on that. Oh, that's not a good start. So that's Eric Stout we're watching right there, sliding around the racetrack in the number 6 machine. It looks like a single car incident. Stout runs wide. Ramps it up the racetrack, it looks like. And somehow Spencer Dewsbury gets involved. I'm not quite sure where that crash is. Oh, that's because Stout slides down the racetrack, and oh my God! Dewsbury just slams the number 6 of Eric Stout, has nowhere to go. You can't really hold your brakes while you're upside down, so you can't fault him too much for that, but you got another crash showing for... I'm a little perplexed here. So Zach Rogers, he comes to a stop there on the side of the racetrack, and he gets a tow in from the iRacing tow truck. Well, if anything, folks, it's been exciting. You got to give the racers credit for that. They're doing their best, but things are going from bad to worse for several drivers. We are on lap caution number 6, 44 laps in, so the green flag runs are getting progressively a little bit shorter, kind of hurting the average here. These guys do have limited tire sets. There's a 3-set tire race, 1 fast repair, so as things keep chugging along, I believe things are going to calm down, because otherwise you're not going to have many people to race with. That was race leader Brandon Barkowski is going to bring it in. He's going to come in for tires. Alex Penn stays out. His lap pit was 29, so about 15 laps ago. Now next week we've got Arizona, we've got Phoenix Raceway at night. It's going to be 156 laps, once again brought to you live on the Team Goon Squad Broadcasting Network. So Phoenix, a pretty fun racetrack, very loose with these cars until the tires fully come in. That should yield some excitement, especially as the rest of the field shows up. We talked to several drivers tonight that either had a plan 2 weeks off before they can get fully invested in the season. Some drivers had a couple computer issues tonight. I know Nick Monty was somebody we talked to pre-race trying to get some data from him, and he said he was having PC issues he couldn't get in. So expecting even more people to show up next week. Absolute carnage, though, here at Daytona International Speedway. The highlight reel is getting used to its full effect. As we're going to re-rack them once more. Almost to the half point, racers. Hang in there. You made it almost 50% of the race. 6 caution. The race control will have some comments going in the future about maybe cleaning up the racing a little bit, but You get 40 cars out here and they don't know each other, especially on a super speedway. It's bound to be exciting, so can't fault the racers too much. They're here to race as far as they can. Not getting away with as much as they would like. Race control having a very busy time. They've had to watch so many replays as well. You know, they're getting worn out. But we're going to re-rack them once more. Alex Penn's going to be out front, followed by Josh Thompson. Thompson's pretty much been in second majority of the night. That is where he started. But, man, Alex Penn, he's up 29 positions from where he started. So qualified 30th, and now he's all the way up in the front, getting a couple laps led, maybe getting a little bit of more exposure for his sponsors. Beautiful family car, I believe, is what that is tonight. So well done to Alex Penn. He's been riding great. Pace car is in. All eyes on Alex Payne. He's going to stack the field a little bit before he gets a good launch over Josh Thompson. Out here in the All-American ARCA Series, the initial start has to be on green, but other than that, it is up to the leader. Once pace car is on pit road, you are free to go whenever you feel is best. So, might have a few teammates out here communicating on what they're doing. Back and forth, but not a lot of time to be gained there. If you're on the same pit cycle. Look at 51, Josh Thompson gets a huge charge. He gets a bump from John Simpson, pushing him up there. He's going to drop down low, lead the lap. If he can get around John Simpson, run the high line. The high line seems a little bit faster here at Daytona International Speedway. We've got the draft support of your friends. Alex Penn, the number 4 machine, the number 30 machine, riding absolutely great. Penn keeping it pretty much as clean as he can. Now Penn is an actual go-kart racer out of Connecticut. He went to Skid Barber School and received his SCCA novice license, so no training racing car. So good to see another real-life racer up here running towards the front. Penn is up 26 spots as time and story shows, so great job getting around here. They're going to go 3 wide. Not sure if that's on purpose. That's the double zero. Hopefully racers can get around him as quickly as he can. Martin's still in the wall, not able to get off. Martin dropping on the leaderboard. He's now down to 5th. No, Martin down to 17th. Lifetime just didn't update enough. So from top 5 towards the back, you're going to see him coming in, maybe getting some repairs on that machine. But a great battle up front. You've got Josh Thompson, John Simpson, Steven Thompson, Alec Penn, and Matt Johnson all run that top 5. To give you an idea of how tight this racing is, less than half a second separates the first place runner of Josh Thompson to 10th place David Westergreen. Westergreen, primarily announcer, sometime races ARCA as well, so good to see Westergreen out here. Somebody I've had the pleasure of co-announcing different series, different broadcasts with, so good to see familiar faces around the iRacing service out here racing hard. Everybody running real tight, 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see. Now historically, we're about 7-8 laps into the run. This is where people start to feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit less cautious. Let's see if they can hold it together. Maybe break a nightly record here. Lap traffic is coming to effect here. Now generally on iRacing, it is the courteous move to give the preferred racing line to the leaders, but when it's a massive pack like this, there's not a lot of places you can go without interfering with a massive field and race, especially on the tri-oval. Cars get a little bit loose taking that mid left-hander, so I think that was an 8 machine. Ryan Perkins, not sure if it's somebody else. But well done to whoever that lap car may have been, not interfering with the racer's race. We always love to see that. We're bumping and grinding up here for a second. Get the rooftop view of John Simpson. Now let's get Matt Johnson. You can see him pushing John Simpson around the raceway. Not a lot of wiggle room there, boys, to make it stick. Looks like he's got the Looney Tunes paint scheme on the 65 machine. That's an extremely cool thing. Love to see the creativity of all these racers and what the different teams put together. We've still got Josh Thompson up front, followed by Josh Simpson, Alex Penn, Matt Johnson, Steven Thompson, our top 5. Lap car, I think that's one of the Goon Squad guys. He's going to drop down low, stay out of the race leaders. Some of these guys doing their best to salvage points. So yes, it has been a caution-filled night here at Daytona International Speedway, but for the most part, we've got the opportunity to see some very clean racing. Lots of door-to-door action where the guys are doing a pretty clean job of it. Unfortunately, a little bit of bad luck just marred across the field. On board with Steven Thompson, 95 machine. He's running 4th. He's in the middle of that tag 95 machine. He's giving a good push. I believe it's John Simpson on the outside. Now Matt Johnson, the 61 machine, makes it 3 wide for just a moment, slows down both lanes a little bit. You see him go high, slows down the top lane, goes low, slows down the low lane. He's got John Simpson behind him. Grind, see the number 25, he's kind of stuck in the middle. That's Brandon Barkowski. Tries to kind of get himself high a little bit, doesn't quite make it stick. Oh, and there's a gaggle of cars. That's going to be exciting going into 3. Everybody's going to try and shuffle into a 2x2 line as we go into the corner. But some of the guys absolutely stuck. That's oh, that's not good. That's Steven Thompson in the 95 machine, gets into the wall. He's kind of stuck there. Can't drop to the pit lane because there's so many other cars trying to get by. I mean, a massively stacked field like this, there's not a lot of ways to cross track safely. The biggest thing they teach you in race school is hold your line, be predictable. So well done for him for kind of forcing himself to stay out there since he had to, even with that damage. As the field's once again tightening up. Man, that is a sight to see around here at Daytona. Everybody pushing as hard as they can. 2x2 as far as the eye can see. Keeping it pretty clean. Not trying to bump too aggressively. These guys are communicating as we get past the halfway mark. Alright, I'm content running here in 3rd, 4th, 5th, wherever it may be. And let's click off some laps and worry about the end. But right as we say that, commentators curse hits hard. That's the 32 up into the wall. Just ever so slightly. That was Zachary Nurnberger. He's still showing at least 1 lap down. So might have been trying to get out of the way. Just a little bit too high and kind of left a racing stripe around Daytona. These ARCA cars are always impressive. Competitors hitting in speeds of excess of 200 miles an hour going around this racetrack when they're working a draft like this. So holding about a mid 195, 196 around the high banking of Daytona International Speedway. But yeah, we've got John Simpson. Yeah, we got Matt Johnson just clicked off a 201. So several drivers getting to 201s. Devin Scoggins, his last trap speed was 205 miles an hour. These guys are absolutely hauling the mail around here. And doing it with no room room to breathe, left, right, front, or back. It is tight, tight racing. Oh, look at that. We got 61. He tries to slow down the outside lane, but the outside lane's not having anything with it. That's Matt Johnson trying to do the block and shuffle, but 65 John Simpson, he drops that lane down and gets around him. 61. Matt Johnson's got no support. They're going to be wide around the back section of the racetrack. Not sure if Johnson's going to be able to tuck down the line. He is. He's going to get clear and try to rethink the strategy. They kind of got him there. Looks like he was trying to block, but middle line wasn't having anything with it. They got around him pretty quickly, and he was left all by his lonesome. So it's still neck and neck. Josh Thompson, John Simpson going back and forth through 3 and 4. It doesn't get much closer than that, I don't think. Yeah, look on board. We're on board with Brandon Barkuski, the 25 machine. Gives you just a tad bit of a feeling of, A, how spectacularly good these cars look on the iRacing service, and B, how close and tight the guys are actually getting all the way around. I mean, not a lot of space. Again, he follows the Looney Tunes car. Not seeing any Wile E. Coyote action so far going on to the event, but everybody doing a spectacular job. Really glad to see the racers keeping it clean. Still double file as far back. Car's getting a little bit unsettled here, but keeping it good. All-American ARCA started with 39 drivers. We're expecting up to 43 in the near future. It is a 43 car limit for these races, so over 50 guys registered. That means these guys are going to have to qualify their heart out to try to make something happen. There's no room here for burnt laps and upcoming races or anything like that. They've got to go from the very beginning. Again, only this track and Talladega have fast repairs. These super speedways do. Other than that, these guys are one and done. So, and like we saw tonight, a lot of good cars got sent to the pit early, taking extremely long repairs and get back out there when they can. And I think they're going around once more. Oh, that's another big one. They're still crashing. Looks like it's going to be Casey Carrington involved. Well, it's going to be a lot of people involved, frankly. All right, let's get the replay going for you. Let's look at Casey Carrington here. That's Casey, the number 9 machine. He's going to be on the low side. The crash is in front of Casey. Okay. We'll see if we can get eyes on who that was. Casey starts checking up. Gets ARCA braked from the 81. Pushes him into the back of, I believe, the number 19 machine. So the 32 was involved in the initial crash. So is the other car. And it just goes from bad to worse for Casey. Unable to get out of the way. And bodies everywhere. Let's see. Zachary Nurnberger's involved. Oh, there it is. All right. So the 01, that's Mr. Thiel that gets into the back of 32 here. Hits the 32 aggressively. Really just punts him out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what happened. 00 gets into Mr. Thiel. 32, Nurnberger still on the ride for his life, and then just more and more cars getting collected that have nowhere to go. Oh, the carnage. Then we see the Casey Carrington crash on the right side of your screen we talked about. He kind of gets run over, nowhere to go. Everybody's on the brakes hard, but poor Nurnberger gets just pounded by everyone. He is the wreck whooping boy for sure on that one. So we got Casey Carrington involved, Zachary Nurnberger, David Westergreen involved. Nurnberger crashed so hard it counted him as crashing twice. That's a feat right there. So more and more bodies getting dropped. Absolutely hate to see it out there. That was one of the better green flag runs. It seems it's kind of always somebody towards the back that's either involved or making the accident happen, so the leaders hate to see that. You still got Josh Thompson, Alex Penn, Brandon Barkowski, Justin Ray, John Simpson, our top 5. Josh Thompson, he's only up 1 spot, so start off 2nd place. But behind him, you got Alex Penn. He's up 28 spots. Brandon Barkowski in 3rd. He's up 30 spots. Justin Ray in 4th is up 25 spots. So all of these guys, just from wreck avoidance, are able to really come up the pack, and suddenly they're back in it. So that's one of these racers, again, we were talking about in the riders meeting with a few of the guys trying to develop some race plans and whatnot. The drivers I talked to, the plan is, I mean, you've got to make it to the end. So if you can stay on the lead lap or 1 lap down for the majority of the race, you're actually in pretty good shape to get yourself back out there and have a shot at the very end. If my bets are worth anything, and again, I'm a broadcaster, not a professional, a racer or betting or really most things. If you're going to see some crashes, granted we're 7th in, you're going to see a lot more of them as these runs close. We're 62% of the way done with this race, which means there's still plenty of time for hurt feelings on the racetrack and last lap carnage. All these guys are going to be vying for a win here. So Josh Thompson and Alex Penn, they're staying out. Their last pit cycle was on lap 29. Behind them, they've got a absolute massive field of drivers whose last pit window is 61. So all these guys have fresh tires. I believe if time and scoring is correct, we're going to have about 23, 24 drivers still on the lead lap. So out of a 38 car field, not that bad. These guys are getting back in it. If you're just tuning in, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, the All-American ARCA Series, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be here every Friday night for the action in 1080p on YouTube. Major thanks to the All-American Series for having me on board. It's definitely been an exciting race to call. For better or worse, between good racing and spectacular crashing, they've got it all. Brand new series, over 50 drivers registered only 1 month into this bad boy. Expect this series to quickly become the elite ARCA series on the network, on the iRacing service. You're going to see it all. Very stacked field tonight. We're taking a look at iRating. We see 3300s, 36s, 37s. So from rookies to pros, we've got a spot for you here at the All-American Series. Green flag is out. All eyes on Josh Thompson, 51 machine. He's been running great all night. Let's see if he can get a little bit of a push from behind him. Now Thompson and Penn, they're the only ones that did not pit that last cycle, and they're currently 1 and 2. Penn around the outside, Thompson on the inside. But I'm not sure if Penn's been able to hold the speed without a lot more draft support. Now I think Thompson, if he can stay where he's at, he's getting pushed by the 25 of Brandon Barkowski. He's got a better chance to stay out there at least till the next caution. Then you might see him come in, take 4 tires, take fuel, or maybe just 4 tires at this point. They're once again 2 by 2, very far back. Justin Ray in the 38 machine, he's riding great, keeping it pretty clean, all things considered. Ray in the 38 machine, driving really well for the most part. He's up 24 spots as well. So like we were saying earlier on, a lot of these guys have made huge advances just by able to stay out there, turn some laps, avoid the carnage. Now, one thing is for sure, these guys have slowed way up. I'm not sure if the tracks maybe greased up and slowed down, or maybe because they've got Josh Thompson up front. He's on 29 lap old tires. Alex Penn's on 29 lap old tires. They're currently running high 52 lap times. And their best so far in the session was high 46s. So the pace is definitely going on. There we go. They're putting up 47s now. So they're getting back in the groove here. The cars do take about a lap and a half to go into speed. It's tough here. 200 miles an hour around a super speedway. It takes a little bit of time to get all the way up there. Man, I hope you guys saw the drafting by Brandon Barkuski. All over the rear bumper of Josh Thompson. That is absolute trust with your competitors out there. Being able to push that hard. These ARCA cars do not do well with heavy bump drafting. You have to be very gentle. You have to be 100% squared up. The other driver's got to be ready for it. You see him shuffling, vying for position back to the top 5. He's got a little bit more pace than Josh Thompson and Alex Penn, who are on those older tires. Stack the field up just a little bit. Way up there, running that outside line. Man, just look at that field. You see some interesting line choices from number 6. Who does number 6? No, it was not. I called that one wrong. That's Eric Stout towards the back. That might be Justin Ray on the out. No, it's 61. There we go. Now we've got eyes on. That was Matt Johnson kind of doing some wild man stuff across the racetrack. Look at that. They're 3 wide at the front, though. Alex Penn running the middle. He's got the 38 of Justin Ray running the high side. Penn on that older set of tires. Ray was trying to get by and make something happen, but wasn't able to quite make it stick. So you've got Alex Penn, Josh Thompson running up front. They're on that older set of tires. Kind of slowing the field up just a little bit. So Alex Penn and Josh Thompson, they are in the race team. So strategies and plans. So from an outsider looking in, I don't have any comms to crew chief, spotters, or race control at this point. My bet is they're trying to slow down the pace just a little bit, running too wide as long as they can. But I think now you're going to see that outside line. Kyle Hall is going to come screaming around. Kyle Hall and the Spirit of Daytona Racing Team. Hall hasn't been up here much tonight. He was involved in one of the earlier crashes, but he's back up there 18 positions ahead of his starting points. Very nice guy to talk to. One of the admins here at All-America Racing, All-American ARCA Series. We got to talk to the admins about that pump with her. It's a tough one, 70 laps in, but he's a super great guy. He's been very friendly, helping all the racers out, getting them set up with everything they need to be in the series and out here running with them. So big thumbs up to Kyle Hall. Matt Johnson, he's pushed his way up to second, a 61 machine. Those top 2 cars, you see Alex Penn and I think probably Thompson, they're going to come in for tires and fuel at that point. That must have been a necessity to pit on the green here. With so many cautions that we've had so far, I find it very odd they would stay out and put themselves in a position where they absolutely had to do a green flag caution. They had 7 or 8 cautions to kind of prepare. Maybe they're expecting another 5 or 6 laps, but that's odd to do a green flag pit stop with how much of a caution. I hate to see those 2 guys coming in like that and kind of getting knocked out of the race. Looks like both of those competitors did come in. Alex Penn might have only taken rights, but Josh Thompson was a full pit stop. I think we might have a crash. Yeah, Jake Finch involved. Oh, the 01 gets spun around. Let's do that one again. Trying to find the right camera angle. Yeah, the 01 gets a little bit of a love tap from the 05 machine. And then around and around they go. So that's Mr. Thiel once again kind of stuck in another one. You see the 23, he's going for a wild ride. Who is that car in the middle that barely misses the 23? Who is that? Is that Neri? I think it is. All right, this is going to be good. So we're going to go back to Zach Crench. We're going to watch the onboard of Neri. I think it's going to be a spectacular one. There's the crash developing in front of you. Smoke everywhere. Now we're on board with the injured Neri in the 654 machine. So watch how close he gets to the 23. Neri involved in one of the early incidents tonight. Skates by there and lives to fight another day. So that's bad news for Alex Penn, Josh Thompson. They were out front in the 30 and 51 machines. They did that green flag pit cycle, and we were talking about the broadcast. Man, that's an odd call. And then just like that, they're back in. Man, if they could have stayed out 1 or 2 more laps, they would have had a yellow flag caution to maintain that lead. So unfortunate for those guys. We've lost so many good cars here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So on this restart, I believe Kyle pitted lap 61. He will probably stay out. He could probably run the rest of the race if he had to. You got Kyle Hall starting up front. Brandon Barkowski will be second. Matt Johnson third. Justin Ray fourth. John Simpson will bring home our top 5 on the next time by. Nothing short of spectacular racing. 73% of the way done, not counting green-white checker attempts. So still plenty of racing. Guys, you gotta remember, you gotta still be out there to make it to the end. We still have 21 drivers, I believe, possibly, no, more, maybe 22, 23 drivers still in the lead lap. You see cars coming in, trying to get some damage done. But man, live time and scoring shows you how many people did not have good nights. I'm gonna wait for that iRacing pace car to come in for the 8th or 9th time. And then we're gonna go racing once more. Man, I wish I could hear what race control drivers are talking about now. I'm sure it's exciting, probably not broadcast friendly, but what do you do? We're going to get ready to watch Kyle make his way, try and make something happen. So pretty much all the drivers in the top pack on the same tire strategy right now. So you're not going to see a lot of difference in speed just from tire wear. I think Lucky Dog last time was Mark Proctor. Mark not having a great night. He's still 2 laps down after being involved in more than his fair share of calamity and bad luck. All right, green flag is out. Here we go. Kyle Hall gets a great launch. Brandon Barkowski's all out on his lonesome on the high line. He doesn't have a lot of draft partners. You've got numbers That's 61, Matt Johnson. He's going to be right behind the leader there. He's right behind Kyle Hall. Johnson, he's up 60 spots by himself. He's been doing great tonight. Good draft work going on there on that inside line. Still Kyle Hall up front, but Matt Johnson all over the rear bumper. Brandon Barcucci kind of stuck out there on the high line. Doesn't really have too much support. It's starting to form up on the high line, but not quite as single file as they need this late. 26 laps to go. But I mean, again, for these drivers, we give them a hard time from the broadcast booth for not quite being single file enough. But it's very, very hard when you're running that middle or high line 2 or 3 wide. You can't really see your markers. You got to have just a little bit of glimmer. It could be a light pole in the corner of your eye that you know is supposed to be there every time. Oh no! Looks like that's the 25 of Brandon Barcucci. He drops down low. We show Ryan Perkins involved in a crash. Let's watch the number 8 here. Looks like the 32 drives up into Perkins. So Perkins looked like he was kind of on his line there. Let's see if we can get a different angle. But doesn't look like a lot he could have done. So let's watch right here. Perkins is in the middle of your screen. He's got the Lowe's car, the 32 on his outside. Yeah, Lowe's doesn't hold his line. Let's see who 32 is. That's Zachary Nurnberger having a rough night, and then Perkins gets spun. 63 gets into him. The 22 gets into him. If it wasn't for bad luck, I don't think Perkins would have any. So we'll get some of the F's in the old chat for Mr. Ryan Perkins from Georgia having a rough night himself. But Perkins was several laps down, and it just goes from bad to worse. He's been involved in, I believe, 3 really big crashes so far tonight. Again, he was the guy early on in the broadcast. You sliding all the way down on his roof. We're going to get ready to re-rack them again around Daytona. Our 6-lap spree keeps continuing before calamity strikes somewhere in the field. Usually it has been mid-pack or back. So a lot of these drivers probably a little bit frustrated with the way things are going. They're not getting their green flag runs they wanted. These guys are here to race. They don't want to go under pacing, but with such a big field of new drivers, everybody's kind of figuring out the limits as early on as they can. And while we are under caution, if you're watching for the first time, don't be afraid to leave us a sub. We greatly appreciate it. Helps grow our channel, helps get the league more support here. The All-American ARCA Series is quickly becoming one of the biggest series that you can join for ARCA on the iRacing service. So again, we'll be covering their entire 14-week season. Runs all summer long, and I believe they've got a winter showdown that will be starting in October or November. So one of the biggest series you can get yourself involved in right now. Check them out, All-American ARCA Series. They're on Facebook, they're on Discord. Looking forward to seeing the guys and see what they can do as the season develops. Interested to see if Hall is going to come in this time around. He's hinting at it. I'm not sure if he's going to. All these guys up front, last pit was around lap 61. I think everybody except Barkuski took 4 tires. So he might be the odd man out up here. Barkuski looks like he took 2. Looks like Justin Ray might have taken 2, if not just fuel. So not sure how that's going to affect him in the long run, but they are going to stay out and get ready to do it again. 9th caution, 22 laps to go. Very interesting so far. Not sure if, don't think fuel savings is going to really be a factor. These guys with the pit stop strategies, they've had the fuel limits imposed on them. And they'll be able to run green for a very long time. So as we get ready to go out again, should be about 21 to go once they cross the line. And then the show continues, ladies and gentlemen, because at the very least, it's been nothing short of entertaining tonight. A lot of good racing sprinkled in with some spectacular crashes. You got to give our drivers credit. If they are going to make a mistake, it always ends up being huge here around Daytona. Not as many cars involved in that last incident compared to earlier on in the night, which is a great, great thing to have. Hopefully we'll get some more green flag runs developing this race. I think later on in the season, these guys are going to get their limits figured out a little bit better. And then we might see some more racing going on, more clean racing. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Kyle Hall gets a great launch. He's followed by Brendan Barkuski on the inside line. Barkuski looking for a way through to make it 3 wide. Unable to make it happen. Goes high. Blocks John Simpson. Trying to figure out what line they want to support this early on. These guys are kind of all over. Matt I don't think that's going to be a problem for Mr. Johnson, the way these short runs have been going. I think if you can stay where you're at pretty comfortably without doing anything crazy, you're in a pretty good place to finish there, at least before the next caution comes around. 21 laps to go. Look at Brendan Barkuski. He's on the outside, getting a good push from John Simpson at 65. That middle line's been working very well for these guys all night, especially going midway through it. None of these guys quite super comfortable on that middle outside line, running nose to tail. You don't have a lot of reference marks to see besides going well, a light pole is your reference point. That a little bit swirly down there. Once the air starts getting taken off your rear bumper, these cars act a little bit differently. So when you're 4 or 5 deep, that's the last time you want to worry about maybe a car acting differently than you've been used to all night, especially in qualifying or anything else. Matt Johnson, Brandon Barkuski still neck and neck as they come around that bend. Brandon Barkuski still not able to get quite the drive he needs to clear. He's going to clear low. Try and drop in front of John Simpson. He barely makes it stick. Excuse me, Matt Johnson he drops down on. That was insanely close. Not sure if Johnson had a check up there or not. The boy just running over the 25 machine. Now we've got 65, John Simpson. He's out there in the back. Here's on board Brendan Barkuski. You can see he's got plenty of open track. You can see all of his marks and hold it wide through 3 and 4. He's got that double yellow just outside the left window. It's a great reference point to know where you're at in the racetrack without driving through the rear window of the guy in front of you. 18 to go here at Daytona International Speedway. I believe we've got another crash. Not sure if it's going to bring out the yellow or not. We had Stephen Thompson and Mr. Thiel involved. Thiel having a very rough night. I believe he did make it into the pits. We're going to stay green. The driver's going to be happy. We're looking for something longer than 7 laps at a time here around Daytona. with pace laps that can last over a minute long and really drags the front of these drivers. They're getting hot in their suits. They need water. They need sustenance. They want to get driving, get some air on them. Oh, they're all over each other at the front of the pack. The outside line not quite getting that support that they want. That's John Thompson, the 65 machine. He's got Curtis Martin, our current fastest Canadian, behind him in the 04. But Brandon Barkowski and Matt Johnson have been able to get a massive drive on that inside. They've got the definite line choice with the best reference marks to make it happen. You see the field kind of playing snake around that tri-oval. One guy moves a little, the guy behind him moves, and then it gets extrapolated to the end. It gets much, much worse. That slows down the whole pack just a little bit. Oh, there we go, another big one. Oh, Lord. That's a lot of leaders involved in that one. I think, God, that was a lot. Got Tyler Evans involved, Shane Gentry, Brandon Barkowski, Devin Scroggins, Nick Terrell, Curtis Martin, Josh Thompson, Robert Hill Jr., John Simpson, Kyle Hall, all involved in that one. That's not ideal. So we're watching Tyler Evans, but the crash is going to be in front of him. Let's see if we can figure out who that is. See the 61 involved. Who's that upside down? That's the 25 machine. So that's going to be Brandon Barkowski, one of the... oh, that's not a good angle. See if we can see what happens here. I think Barkowski gets too much of a push from the 61, I think. So watch Brandon Barkowski. He's the number 25 car. He was our leader. Gets a big shove from the 21 behind him. And then Barkowski, who was our race leader, collects the entire lead pack. Nowhere for him to go. Everyone involved. So, excuse me, the 61 is what caused that initial incident. Oh, that's the replay of the day right there, gentlemen. Barkowski takes a massive ride, gets caught by the air fence, and they are still crashing. Get out your sundial. You're going to need it to measure the length of this bad boy. Days of Thunder is a go. There are cars everywhere. This is going to be a big one to clean up. Lost count of the cars involved. I think it was at least 10 or 12. There was only 20 on the lead lap. Man, what a massive pileup. That was absolutely spectacular. Probably the best crash I've ever announced on the iRacing service. So I'm not quite sure how things are going to get re-racked here. Man, that was really something. So as it currently sits, we've got Justin Ray out front in the 38 machine, Dennis Weeks Jr. in second, Johnny Eckert in third. Haven't got to talk about Johnny much in the number 90 car. He's been having not the best night of his night with Outlaw Racing, but I mean, he's just like that. He's sitting in podium contention, so you got to give credit where credit is due. Just by being able to stay out of the carnage, he finds himself in a great position here. Eckert, he's a part of Outlaw Racing, so he's got Cody McCorkle, David Westergreen, Dennis Weeks, and Robert Hill Jr. all on the team. So he's able to put it up much, much further than he has been all night. Dennis Weeks Jr., another Outlaw Racing. They're 2 and 3 right now. Justin Ray, he's out front. I don't think he's on a team. I don't see it. Don't see it on his overlay here. And I don't see him in one of the crew or team channels, so he might be a solo threat right now. Got James Silvers in 5th. He's with Cornerstone Motorsports. Michael Vandermeer, he's running 6th. Robert Mathis Jr. with H&M Motorsports, he's in 7th. Josh Thompson from Pennsylvania, Team Pennsylvania, he's in 8th. Robert Hill Jr., our now fastest Canadian, he's in 9th place. And then John Simpson from Illinois, he's currently sitting in 10th. That's going to round out your top 10. Man, what a spectacular crash that one was, though. It's down to 17 cars in the lead lap. A lot of cars still in the caution. I count 5 or 6 guys in the pits right now trying to get repairs, trying to get back out there. But we've lost a lot of good men and women. It's a multifaceted field here at the All-American ARCA Series. With 13 to go, things are only going to get more exciting here as all these guys vying for a top spot. Some guys that haven't been up front all night are suddenly in the mix. That's going to be Justin Ray up 27 spots. Johnny Eckert, he's up 9. Dennis Weeks Jr.'s kind of been up front all night. He's currently sitting second, excuse me. Here we go, we're green once more. Oh, hold it together, boys. You only got to survive 12 more laps. You see a lot of cars that might have had to use those fast repairs trying to get back up there and hammer down as quickly as they possibly can. Number 9, that's Casey Carrington, drops down low, league owner. He hadn't been up here all night. Dennis Weeks Jr., he's running the high line, the 97 machine. Also look at Justin Ray in the 38. He's going to be behind Casey Carrington as they push down the straight here. Excuse me, the tri-oval. So Carrington up, actually down 2 positions right now from having a rough start early on in the night. Had to work his way all the way back up. Dennis Weeks back out front. He's got James Silvers behind him, then Michael Vandermeer. I believe these guys are on new tires. Yeah, trying to pitting lap 72, so fairly fresh. Early set of tires in the mix is going to be John Simpson. He boxed lap 86, as well as Josh Thompson. These guys might have a little bit more speed to try and get that outside line developed. But if they keep weaving all over the place, nobody's going to get very far very fast if we bring out another caution. Oh, just like that. Number 51 hooks it left. Right, excuse me. That's Josh Thompson. And the 51 machine. He gets a heavy bump from the 65. That's what it was. John Simpson pushed him too hard. 65 goes up and over. Full barrel roll with the McTwist. The field scatters behind them. That was a big, big crash John Simpson was involved in. John Simpson, Josh Thompson, both involved in that one. Those guys were running up towards the front all night, but their night may be over. Not sure if they've got a fast repair left. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But with 10 laps to go, it's getting closer and closer to prime lap. You're going to see guys pushing as hard and aggressively as possible, trying to make a few more track positions here at the end. They got to remember, though, it's a championship, not just a sprint race. So even though they're within striking distance of a top 5, whatever it may be, finishing a top 10 is way more important than not finishing at all. You can tell by the slide marks all around here at Daytona International Speedway, it's been nothing less of a spectacular night of big crashes. So we see some of the fans saying it's not been the cleanest Daytona race they've ever witnessed. I've got to agree. I don't think it's so much purposely crashing. There's been a few incidents where it looks like drivers could have definitely done something to avoid it. It's just such a big field with a mixed talent of drivers. Makes it very interesting. And I do predict the longer this series goes on, the more you will see things kind of shake themselves out. The guys involved in the crashes all the time will get frustrated. They won't be here the week in, week out. Those drivers tend to get involved in a bunch of incidents. You don't see drivers that are involved in crashes sticking out long. Now, sometimes there are just bad series of bad luck where you can't do anything, especially when there's that first crash early on and you're 20 cars back and you don't see it. The spotter isn't called in time. That is one of the huge benefits to having a real-life spotter if ever given the opportunity. It is invaluable to be able to see crashes or hear about crashes before they happen. But some of these guys are working with teams, have real-life spotters involved. Some of them not having that fortune, having to rely on something like crew chief or something to that effect. And they don't do a good enough job, I should say, of calling out crashes ahead of you. So as these guys take around the field, we've got 15 cars on the lead lap. Quite green-white checker conditions yet, but we are getting there. Dangerously close to 7 to go across the line. Let's see, with 8 laps to go, are we going to make it caution-free? Historically, the guess is probably not. Hoping we can at least get down to green-white checker conditions and then see a final shootout. 8 laps to go. It's going to be 7 when they cross the line. Up front, you've got James Silvers up 16 spots. He's the number 17 car. You'll see on the left side of your screen. You see Michael Vandermeer, he's the number 7 machine on the high side. Those are going to be our 2 big cars to watch here. Neither of those guys are teammates. We've got Vandermeer, he's in Cornerstone Motorsports. James Silvers, I believe, is a privateer entry, but let's watch. The pace car is in. Can they behave with 7 laps to go as we cross the line? 17 Silvers gets a good launch, but Vandermeer is right there on his outside. Vandermeer's got a few cars behind him. That's the number 9, Casey Carrington. He's been a hard pusher all night. We know he can run nose to tail and do it safely. Let's see if he can give a safe shove to the number 7, Vandermeer, to get him out front. But right now it's Silvers back up front, followed by Dennis Weeks. They're shuffling around trying to figure out where they're going to be at here. They are too wide as far as you can possibly see. 7 laps to go. Oh, hold on to it, boys. We're almost there. Silvers has got the run on the high side, but here comes 97 Dennis Weeks Jr. You can barely see Silvers out the right side of his window They're going to drive hard all the way around. Not sure if Silver's going to have the speed to make it stick and maybe throw a block on Silver's. Silver still has Carrington all over the back of him right now. No, Silver's has Vandermeet on the back of him. Carrington's falling back just a little bit. The number 9, he's the 3rd car in the lineup on that outside that you see. Man, such a good shot around Daytona International Speedway. You see Silver's trying to get the run on the outside, excuse me, Weeks on the outside trying to get the run. Silver's still running down low. No, I got that backwards. My apologies. Weeks is on the low line. Silver's on the high line. Here comes Silver's with the assistance of Michael Vandermeet. The Outlaws Racing guys looking good up front. They'll be very, very happy. Oh, huge blink from the 17, James Silvers. Goes completely invisible for a little bit. That is the absolute last thing you want to see if you're Vandermeet, if you're pushing somebody. Silvers and Vandermeet drop down the low line. Not sure what happened to Dennis Weeks Jr., if he had a checkup or maybe got scared of James Silvers having that massive blink and wanted to kind of avoid any possible carnage if he reappeared inside of anybody. Weeks now, he's on the high line trying to make it work. Not sure if he's going to get the support that he wants. Looks like he will. As cars, that's the 04 of Curtis Martin. He goes high as well. Maybe give a good push to the 97 machine. Oh, cars are all over the place. They're getting a little bit impatient. They might be 3 wide going in here. They are going to be. There's another crash. With 4 to go, there's carnage. There's somebody up in the wall. He might be able to keep race pace so the caution doesn't come out. Not sure what's going to happen there. But it's Curtis Martin, your new race leader, followed by Dennis Weeks Jr. Oh, no! Carnage! Oh, that is not what you want to see here at the end. Let's see if we get that replay. Oh, let's watch the 87, I believe, was involved in that horrific incident. No, excuse me, the 97. Let's see what happened here, because it looked like the 04, the lead car just got absolutely dumped. Let's see if we can watch that. So that's Curtis Martin. He's involved in it. Who's right behind him? Let's see if we can get a better angle, because that's the replay we want to watch. So the number 17 machine, that's who we're going to want to watch. So number 17, he's going to be the 2nd car in the lineup. That's what we're watching here. I think he just gives a good hearty bump to the 04 of Curtis Martin. No, I think he gets pushed. So we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to back it up. I got a different angle. I think it's going to show the whole story. So look at this. Look at this here. I think this is going to be the telltale. So you're still on board with James Silvers. No, that was all on Silvers. Silvers didn't get a bump till afterwards. We're going to do one more for the kids at home. So we watched Silvers did not get a push from behind. So we watched his rear. Yeah, it looks like he gets into the back of the 04 machine and just doesn't really lift and just drives right through him. So James Silvers, your new race leader, after what I would call not even a bump and run. It looks like he just kind of drove into the back of him. So not sure if race control is going to have something to say on that one or not, but that's not what you want to see with 3 laps to go here. get ready for the final shootout. How many cautions is this? I've lost track, my friends. The 12th caution of the night. Let's do our handy-dandy broadcaster math here. On average, we're getting 8.3 repeating laps per green flag run before the caution comes out. And about 2 of those are caution laps. So we'll call it about 6.5 laps is what the drivers are getting before somebody does something spectacular. And then carnage. As we get ready for our final shootout, I'd like to thank everybody watching at home on the Team Goon Squad Broadcasting Network. It's been a busy, busy night. Lots of fun things happening. As well, thank you to everybody that dropped follows and subs here on the YouTube channel. Helps us out, helps the leagues out most importantly. So look at this. The number 17 of James Silvers is dropping to the back. I'm not sure if he's coming into pit or if he may have been given an EOL for that one. Silver's dropping back from 1st to 11th so far. To be very clear for everybody who's watching at home, I am solely a broadcaster, not race control, not anything else, not giving favoritism to anybody. So if I call an incident and I deem it at fault, that is one single man's point of view. That is definitely not race control's point of view or anybody's opinion except my own. I've been proven wrong plenty of times, and I only watch so many camera angles. The race control guys watch a lot more angles than I do. So if your favorite driver's out there and I call something and you're unhappy, my sincerest apologies. I just call it to the best of my ability. And sometimes that ability is not good. So now you've got Robert Hill Jr., the lone Canadian at the top of the pack in the 05 machine. They are underway. Michael Vandermeet's going to be behind him. It's 2 to go. This might be the final shootout of the night. There's only one green-white checker attempt here at the All-American ARCA Series. It's been a spectacular night for better or worse from start to finish. Number 7, he looks to the outside. That's Michael Vandermeet. Gets a big, big run on 05. Robert Hill Jr. Not going to have enough to clear him, but look at Casey Carrington. He's going to go to the outside. Maybe give a push to Michael Vandermeet. Doesn't have it. Vandermeet drops low. Drops right in front of Robert Hill Jr. They are nose to tail. Casey Carrington all by him outside. All by his lonesome on the outside. They are squirming all over the place. They're pushing as hard as they can. It's 2 to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Are we going to get through to the end without any incidents? Look at Robert Hill Jr. just absolutely shoving Vandermeet up the racetrack. There's zero lifting here. White flag is out. Vandermeet's still out front, getting bumped and grinded all over the place. Holding on to the best of his ability. Robert Hill Jr. all over the number 7 machine. Oh, that might have been a bump there. Robert Hill gets by Vandermeet. No incidents so far. They're going to go 3 wide in the backstretch. Look at Johnny Ecker, the 90 machine. All of a sudden, he's out front. Gets some support from the number 36, Mark Proctor. Proctor was down several laps at the beginning of this race. Currently running second. Oh, there they go. The number 7 gets around the big incident. Here we go. Look at Mark Proctor. He's still out there. He's going to bring home second. Johnny Eckert first. Craig Martin third. And just huge, huge pile up behind him at Daytona International. Oh, Lord. That might be the biggest crash we've had all night. And that's saying something in a night of crashes. So let's watch here. We're see if we can bump up the speed a little bit. Well, that's too slow. So watch the number, we're going to watch the number 7 machine, Michael Vandermeet. Vandermeet runs up the racetrack a little bit later. Might have gotten through. Oh, Not sure what just happened there, but it did not look good. Let's watch now. Actually, let's back it up there. I want to see what on earth transpired. So it looks like Vandermeer just kind of wiggled up the racetrack. I don't believe he got hit from behind, but the other machine was coming down. So two drivers just trying to collect the same spot at the same time. That's the 05 Robert Hill Jr. 7 and 5 just get together. And then the real party starts. So guys that were in contention for the top 5 have their races ruined. Johnny Eckert gets through. Craig Martin. Johnny Eckert wins it. Mark Proctor wins it. Craig Martin goes through the grass to bring home 3rd. So that's rough. That's real rough. So we're going to try and get the guys together for post-race interviews here. I believe those race results are going to be official, but we're going to pull it up, the unofficial results so far. Well, there we go. So, unofficial results, Johnny Eckert up front, Mark Proctor 2nd, Craig Martin 3rd, Robert Mathis Jr. in 4th, Josh Mayu 5th, Robert Hill Jr. 6th, Matt Johnson 7th, Michael Vandermeer 8th, Nick Terrell 9th, Casey Carrington will bring home our top 10. A lot of good drivers that you're not seeing up here, just had really bad nights involved in this, some of the calamity. Out of all the drivers that entered, about 14, 13 start on the lead lap here. So a lot of good teams not having the night they wanted with some of the shenanigans they were involved in. You really hate to see that some of these guys are better drivers and just kind of stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. We're going to ignore me hitting the wrong button there for everybody watching at home. All right, we've got 3rd place, Craig Martin in the 00 machine, able to squeak by at the very end. Craig, do you read me?
Absolutely. How are you doing?
Craig, that was a bloodbath out there.
Absolutely. I was just happy to keep it in one place and get it across the line.
Yeah, Craig, I mean, you're up 7 positions from where you originally started, so great run. Able to keep it relatively clean tonight, and the fastest Canadian of the night as well.
Oh, awesome.
So, Craig, is that how the race you expected to go for you? Was it more or less what you thought was going to happen?
I had a feeling being the first race it may get a little bit physical, but that was quite the race, I tell you.
Well, Craig, again, you did great tonight. Before I let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, a couple people. My new racing team, PA Posse, we definitely came together and got the job done today. And I want to thank my parents for having such a beautiful son.
Awesome, Craig. We hope to see you up in the podium more this season. Well done.
Awesome. Thanks, James.
Yes, sir. All right, up next in the booth, we're going to get Mark Proctor in the 36 machine. Mark started off a bad luck early on the night, couple laps down, brought it home in 2nd. Mark, do you read me?
I gotcha.
Mark, I mean, that was an absolute roller coaster of a race for you and I guess several people. How are you feeling being on the 2nd step of the box tonight?
Oh my God, that was wild. I think I was 2 laps down, like with 20 to go or something like that. Couple cautions, got the lucky dog, and then I have no idea how that last lap happened. You know, it's just we came out of the backstretch. Johnny described it as, the C split. We just went right up the middle.
Well, Mark, you did a fantastic job. I mean, we've been asking everybody, was that kind of how you expected things to go for the opening night tonight, or was it exceeded your expectations?
Definitely more cautions than I thought. It was like lap 5, people were sending it 3 wide, and I was kind of shocked by that. Just tried my best. Stayed out of 2 wrecks, couldn't be out of the 3rd. It's just that's the way it goes with these super speedways.
Yes, sir. Well, Mark, before we let you go, man, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank my friends, helping me out throughout the race, keeping me entertained while I was kind of wanting to leave. And then thank you guys for hosting this.
Always a great time. Mark Proctor, we'll see you at the next one. Congratulations on 2nd place tonight.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next, the man of the hour, the number 90 machine with Outlaw Racing, Johnny Eckert, bringing it home in first. Johnny, you read me?
Hello.
Johnny, boy, that was exciting for everybody.
Oh yeah, that was exciting for me. I can't even count on one hand how many crashes I avoided tonight. I mean, I was super lucky, and I didn't think that I would have a chance at the win. I thought it was between the two guys who took the white flag 1-2, but somehow the seas parted on the backstretch, and I was able to go through, and I had 36 right on my bumper, and just I guess I had enough of a gap.
Yeah, and some days it's better to be lucky than good, but today you combine the two. So Outlaw Racing, you put it on the board for the guys. It looks like the points are going to be pretty good for you guys in the team championship. Did you guys have a good strategy going into this thing, or is it every man for himself and see where the cards fall?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before the race. We had, in general, we wanted to take it easy because we weren't sure what was going to happen. New season, relatively new league. A lot of people that don't know, haven't raced against each other. So we want to take it easy to see exactly what would pan out. And so we all spent the first half of the race just riding around towards the back, and that seemed to work out for us. I mean, we still had sketchy moments avoiding crashes, but it seemed to work out. So thankfully, I mean, I think at one point all three of the cars led laps tonight. They were up front before incidents. So we had a good showing. Disappointing for David Westergreen because he could have been up there with us towards the end too if he didn't get caught up in that one final one. But we came out with a strong showing, and I'm very pleased with the organization.
Well, Eckert, we're very glad to see you up here, man. We're looking forward to what you and the entire team of Outlaw Racing can do later on the season. Before we let you go and sign off tonight, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank my Outlaw Racing teammates, Robert Hill, DJ Weeks, David Westergreen, Cody McCorkle was hanging out with us towards the end, and Jake Finch, who was also working with us a little bit earlier in the race. And yeah, it's Alzheimer's Awareness Month this month, so support the organization. And yeah, thank you to the broadcast, to you for broadcasting this, to the league admins for hosting this race and having us. And man, super exciting way to start the season.
Awesome, Eckert. We appreciate you greatly. Go celebrate with the team. Have a great night. You earned it, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, that was your race winner tonight, Johnny Eckert. So it's going to be Eckert out front, Mark Proctor second, Craig Martin in third. That's how the points are going to shake out as we go into round 2 next week at Phoenix. As a reminder, everybody tuning in at home, still time to get on the season while they get everything dialed in and ready to go. If you're interested, check out Facebook.com/All-American ARCA Series. You can join the Discord. You can ask questions. You can meet your fellow racers. On behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting and the All-American ARCA Series, I'm James East. I had a fantastic